Alright everyone, we got the rebuild kit right here. New piston and everything, new seals. So I'm going to put this on a time lapse for the engine build. And I'll cut back to when everything is done. We'll try and get this in the four-wheeler and we'll try and get this thing started and go running. You see? Hopefully everything goes well. There might be a few pauses. I'm going to have to look up probably a couple things. I'm going to have to look up what orientation all the rings go on the new piston. Might have to search up a couple more things, but other than that, let's get started. Alright, so I've been working on these for a while. Found out all you gotta do is you gotta slip a try and pop that out. Oh, there it goes. There we go. I already got the other side out. And I can just push it. Comes out this side. There's that. It looks alright, I guess. Pull this whole piston out. Look how much carbon has built up on there. So the inside looks okay. But that is what isn't okay. You can see I tried to scrape at it. That's not damage from valves or anything. The valves look fine. The valves are carboned up though, so I think I'm going to try and scratch them up a little bit to clean it. But I'll do that with the valves closed and then I'll dump it all out. I won't. But we don't have to reuse this. So this can go over here. So parts table, I kind of organize everything. Flash makes everything kind of blurry. But that's what I use to catch the tensioning spring. Oh no, I can't tip it over. I got perfect. Now I can. You can see carboned up quite a bit. And there's that milky oil from the gas getting in it. So I'm gonna have to clean those up before I start putting that back in. So now I'm gonna try get this old gasket off. It's kind of hard to see, but it's still there. Let's see if I can. Where'd the little screwdriver go? Where'd I put that? Oh, I set that over there. I'll just try and use these for this. Make sure not to squeeze it too much so it gets bent. Perfect. All these studs seem good and strong, and there's no play in this at all. Tiny bit of side to side, just very little, but no up and down, so that's good. So as long as the bottom end is doing good, that means we'll just ignore the rest we see. Oh, and it's locked up. Just kidding. That's probably the chain, I'm guessing. Then we can clean up this and then start the rebuild. everyone. A lot happened since the last time you guys saw us. Found out my time lapse wasn't recording, but we got the motor reinstalled. Everything new is in. It's wired back up, so once we put some oil in it and everything, it should be ready to run. So hopefully that'll be done either tonight or tomorrow. I have the chain for it. Sadly, I didn't get the second exhaust stud out. Probably be better to see from the other side. Sadly, didn't get that out, so we're gonna have to figure that out. Got the shifter all set up and everything. Nice position for my foot. That's good. So once it's confirmed to be running, then pop a chain on. Probably figure out some brakes. Bolt all the plastics on. Get ripping. This seat is actually fairly comfortable. It's pretty nice. Fit pretty well on this thing for being the size that I am. Not the peak audience for one of these, but yeah. So I just want to get that little update in there. This is how it's doing. That's a light that's hanging from the ceiling. Pretty cool. Alright, so it's been a few days since my last video. And what I'm going to be doing now is we're going to be trying to diagnose why this thing does not start. Because currently, it'll crank over and it'll backfire out the carb, it feels like, because I can feel it kind of move the thumb throttle when I'm holding it. So I'm thinking that maybe that the timing's off and it's during the compression stroke, it's still open, pushing air out the carb. I'm hoping that maybe the timing is just off and that the valve seals aren't bad or something like that. I do have new valve seals, but I do not want to be messing around with valves. I don't trust myself enough for that stuff. So we got to get the 10mm on the other side of this so we can pull that cover off. Move this up to top dead. Probably about here. And what I'm thinking is maybe I was setting top dead center on the table. And on the table, this thing was leaning forward because this motor is basically kind of flat down here and leans up. So maybe it was leaning like flat. And I did the timing. So this was probably back a little bit. So that's what I'm thinking. Set that at top dead. And let's get this other bolt out. Alright, we're on this side now. Pull that out. Let's bring the light over here. Hook that on there. Now we should be able awfully tight. I didn't know I made it that tight. I mean, of course, it being tight isn't bad, but... Oh, blocking off the camera. And we'll know this bolt's out because the other side panel... Yep, the other side panel fell off. Alright, let's do a quick little expansion. Well, from what it appears, it looks like it might be just one tooth off on that chain. But it does look like there's oil up here. So that's good. That means it's pumping oil. But what that also means is that means I probably got to drain the oil to reset the timing. This has been fun. But that is probably why it won't start, is that timing is just one notch off, and that's why it's backfiring. Alright, time to drain the oil another time. So, that's mildly annoying, but that's just, it is how it is. Can't change it. Till it was in, so. Holy, that fiddlesticks. Oh, I'm definitely dropping this. Oh, it's so cold. Holy moly. My fingers are flipping freezing. I gotta find where I put my gloves at. Where'd the oil? What? Where the oil at? Do I have to take the cap off? What's going on? Ooh. Ooh. What? Ooh. I can see there's oil in the... Is it that cold out? Is it, like, has my oil gone solid? Yeah, I think my oil's frozen. That's not good. I guess we'll put the plug back in and just pull the motor out. Set it on the table. I put a new board on it. We'll adjust the timing then, I guess. If the oil's frozen, no point in pulling it. Alright, since draining the oil didn't work, now it's time to pull the body panels off and get this thing ready for the engine to be pulled again, which is going to be real nice, because I just put it in and now I get to tear it down again, which is real fun. Yeah, I should probably turn off the gas. That's... Jeez, even that's frozen. Holy moly. I need a heater in here. Come on. There it goes. Perfect. Took the bottom mount out for getting the freaking drain plug back in. So now we just get to pull off the back plastics, pull off the tank, take off the carb. Actually, don't have to take off the tank. We just take off the carb, pull out the mounts, and we can have it out on that table again. Oh, and the chain I got doesn't work, so that's good. Neither of the chains I got work, actually. I got a 40-20 here, and then I got a 50-20 here. Turns out it's neither of them, but I do have a 40-20 front gear, front sprocket. So I believe if I just get a rear sprocket that's 40-20 as well, then it'll be, then I'll know that it's all 40-20 instead of just having this fun game of why do none of the things I buy work. So I'll cut to when the plastics are off. But now there's no engine in it again. Now there's an engine on the table again. So now we get to, I'm just going to skip this for recording, but I'm just pull out the chain tensioner, pull the head off, pull that out, move it one link over, put everything back together. Still doesn't work then, I don't know. Alright, I just want to show you now that that is right on timing. You see right there, it'll focus. top dead. And top dead. A little bit of oil spillage from the pipe that goes to the cam, but we can probably top it off a bit and it'll definitely run how it is. But let's get it back into the machine again. Alright. This might be where this thing ends for now, because timing is correct in it. Has great spark. I have no clue why it doesn't run at this point. I've checked spark, it's got good compression. The carburetor is bringing fuel into the motor, the spark plug's wet. I have literally no clue why it doesn't start. It's got all three things one of these needs to run: spark, compression, and gas. And yet it still doesn't run. My battery is dead now. So in the comments of this video, if you have any ideas, I think my carb could just be tuned really bad or something's up with it. So if any of you know how to like put that to the factory tune for a 110, I'd appreciate it if you told me. Other than that, we got the front brakes hooked up. Rear brakes still are empty. We got to put fluid in them and bleed them. But I'm not sure how much of that I'm going to do, because I don't know. I made very little progress doing this whole thing. We've actually basically gone backwards because it used to run. I'm not sure why it don't no more after it's got all this stuff in it. And I think as soon as this thing is done, I'm going to sell it, because I've been putting way too much money into this. I'm not going to be making, I'll be barely making any money off of it. So I've just put too much money into this. If something else breaks on it, then I'm going to be done, because I will make zero profit if something else breaks. If I find out that something else in the engine is bad, or something in my suspension, or my wheels, rims, tires, brakes, something like that is bad, then that's going to be way too much. This thing, I could probably sell it for maybe $400, and I got like $300 into it. So this thing, maybe on a good day, it's worth maybe $600. But I think that's going to be the end of this story, unless some of you can figure out what's wrong with it. Like, if you have one of these and it had this problem, it's got spark, compression, and gas, but it just don't start, let me know. I'd be much appreciated to figure that one out. But otherwise, that's the end of part 2, maybe the last part. So see y'all in the next video, whatever it may be about.